Sometimes, not everyone or thing that is considered evil actually started that way. Gigan has long been said to have been one of the most sadistic and brutal of enemies Godzilla has ever faced. And for good reason. Gigan is ruthless. But within the Kaiju's origins, a dark story lies that may give reasoning behind Gigan's madness. Remember to stomp the subscribe button if you think Godzilla is awesome, everyone, and hit the bell to stay notified on when our videos come out. The dark secret of Gigan. Let's get to it. Cunning, brutal, bloodthirsty. All are terms which could describe Gigan. Over the monster's half-a-century-long existence, there have been separate variations of Gigan that have changed in appearance, but one thing stayed constant. The monster was a prolific assassin and a skilled fighter, a perfect soldier. And while Gigan could never fully defeat Godzilla in battle, he was one of the few to ever say they pushed the king of the monsters to his limits every battle. But if you closely watch Gigan, you can see a different side of him come out. A side of his personality that usually remains hidden behind that Cyclops eye, the part of him that only wants one thing: blood. What could cause this monster to savagely mutilate his targets, sometimes even to the point of letting his defensive guard down? What dark and twisted memories haunt the cyborg? While there's not much lore written for the cyber assassin, there are just enough clues and bits of evidence given to us that tells us that Gigan may not have always been this cutthroat killer. Before we get into this though, I'm going to quickly show you 3 other characters across pop culture that have similar origin stories to Gigan. Rocket Raccoon.
You all happy?
An alien world animal, turned into a sentient being through experimentation performed upon him. These deeds were done by an alien race looking to create inhabitants that could run the planet so they didn't have to, thus creating the volatile creature that we see in the comics and movies. Rocket Raccoon turned out okay though.
Okay, how much for the arm?
Mostly, but these next characters, just as Gigan, did not. Dinobot's clone from the Beast Wars show, Mewtwo from Pokemon, and General Grievous from Star Wars. All were at one point in their timelines were considered to be either brave and honorable warriors, or simply innocent creations. But due to harsh external factors, each lost that part of themselves that kept their sanity and overall goodness intact, becoming the dark and twisted souls that were mere shadows of what they once were. Now back to Gigan. Most eras' timelines have no information on Gigan's origins, instead choosing to simply introduce the monster as a cyborg servant controlled by evil entities. But within the Showa series, we get the slightest bit of lore that gives us an insight into Gigan's dark origins. At one time, the beast was merely a gigantic dinosaur-like creature that lived on some far-off planet. Perhaps Gigan's kind were a proud semi-sentient species that had a primitive society, based on values and beliefs similar to our ancient samurai or Spartans. Maybe Gigan even had a lady and some kids waiting for him at home, but one day, he didn't come back. Real quick, big shout out to Larry Quach for his fantastic pre-cyborg design of Gigan. Go check out his art, I'll leave links down below. All we know of Gigan is that the individual he was before his cybernetic augmentations is likely dead. All that remains is simply his body in a twisted, half-machine, half-flesh form. Now immortal, this creation was called Gigan, and would for the rest of time do the bidding of its master with no hesitation. This origin is very much like the previously mentioned Grievous, who was a proud leader of his people before the Sith planned a secret mission that would result in the general's mutilated body and mind, turning him into his cybernetic twisted form, and uttering the once great leader into nothing but a shell of his former self, forced into servitude to now perform horrible war crimes. Just like Grievous, Gigan could have been a proud individual on his planet, possibly even their kind's greatest warrior. But once the advanced alien race decided he was the perfect specimen for galactic conquest, his fate was sealed. The once potentially honorable being was now nothing more than an evil slave. So maybe now you will look at Gigan a little differently. You can't take back that in the movies, the monster is a brutal killer who shows no remorse for his victims. But knowing that Gigan was once not so different than a dinosaur, the monster we see in the movies and its actions are almost understandable. The little bit of Gigan's original soul that may still remain is now stuck in a never-ending state of fear, anger, hate, and suffering, resulting in the occasional outbursts of brutal passion displayed in his attacks. At the end of Gigan's dark story, the soul it once had is never coming back. Gigan was, and will now forever be in the Godzilla timeline, a vengeful warrior. And no one, guilty or innocent, is safe. So residents, if you find yourselves feeling a little bit sad, or maybe now you understand Gigan and you want to, I don't know, give him a hug or something, subscribe to Dangerville and hit that bell to stay notified when we make more content. And let us know how you feel about Gigan now down in the comments. I want to give a big old shout out to Methlu Kaiju Fan for giving us clips from his upcoming badass animation that's in the works. If you're a fan of Godzilla and, well, Gigan, you're gonna love it. He's been showing us a lot of inside clips and kind of behind the scenes stuff for this project. And well, if you like Gigan, you like Godzilla, you like Kaiju, and you like, just small creators, it's literally just him with a little bit of help in there. You're gonna love this, I think. So go subscribe to his channel. He makes amazing animations. On that note, everyone, this has been Jacob, and I'll see you in the next one.